In honor of Halo Infinite's Flight for public team matchmaking happening this weekend, we will be talking about Halo's Planet Earth. Welcome back, everyone. My name is NashX, and welcome back to Alternate Earth. So sit back, relax, and enjoy our Halo Earth episode. Enjoy. So for those of you who don't know what Halo is a first-person shooter in which you play as the beloved character Master Chief, in which you go on a massive adventure to save humanity from utter annihilation from an alien race known as the Covenant, a collective race of aliens believing in a religious idea of the Great Journey by activating these ancient weapons that can eradicate all sentient life within a huge mile radius. The Halo rings were created by an ancient sentient race that's trying to stop a great evil from appearing. But we're not talking about all of this stuff about the whole battles and alien battles. We're talking about planet Earth. How is she held up within the Halo universe? So in the beginning, humanity was planted on Earth, actually. And basically, humanity grew and evolved, building from civilizations to civilizations. And as you can see, that's pretty much how humanity went. Basically, same as ours, just mostly everything pretty much in regards to from the beginning of the tribes to the Roman Empire to the discovery of modern medicine, the discovery and invention of using weapons, rocketry to fly up into space, but using that rocketry for destruction capabilities instead. And again, just all out just war across the stars. Men fighting constantly of war. But they think the biggest change that happened was rocketry, going up into the great beyond, trying to find other worlds and other places. Could it be possible? Could we find planets similar to Earth? And that is how Halo's history changed. Basically, the UN formed the UNSC, and they had one dream in mind, and that was to colonize future planets across the stars. With their ships, they jumped to basically light speed, and they went to other planets to find and colonize new planets for humanity to grow and evolve. And with time, patience, they managed to actually succeed. They growed an empire, so to speak, because basically the whole world was unified. They were focused on colonizing worlds and pretty much growing everything. Because we didn't have to rely on Earth for resources and utilizing the resources on the planets, we could grow cities within years. And that was the glory days of humanity. But not only that, technology and science improved. And with our exploration into other planets and other worlds, we discovered ancient artifacts from other alien races. But it made us wonder, what else is out there? Well, there was an alien race, actually multiple alien races, called the Covenant, that believed in this great religion called the Great Journey, which was to activate these massive weapons called Halo rings. Unfortunately, the Covenant viewed us as an obstacle to the Great Journey, and because of that, the Covenant waged war on humanity, and we fought with all of our might. But the Covenant was made up of many species, as well as their technology was vastly superior than us, and they had greater numbers than us. We were losing worlds by the dozen. Every time we would grow a strong force, they would knock us out of the air like it's nothing. No matter what we could throw at them, we were losing a battle. Every world they conquered was more casualties we lost. And all they did was they were making their pathway to Earth to begin the great journey that they set out to do. No matter what we threw at them, no matter how big the guns we fired at them, they would always come back with even stronger, more powerful weapons. And we were at our losing everything to extinction by the Covenant. But that's when you come in. You play as the Master Chief and reunite the world, and that is the Halo lore. So now in the first Halo, you played on a Halo ring. You didn't play on Earth until Halo 2, which is where we're going to right now. So let's begin. So basically, the Covenant are at our doorstep. Earth is the last line of defense. Our orbital system is the only thing keeping the Covenant from Earth. And as you can see, Earth is still extremely beautiful, still lush, green, and it still has its oceans, which is a really good sign that this isn't like Warhammer 40k. So in Halo 2, Master Chief is on Earth, and basically the Covenant, right on schedule as he arrives back to Earth, are beginning their massive assault on Earth. Basically, we're dealing with a very small fleet of the Covenant, but they have strength in numbers. So it's up to humanity to defend from the Covenant and mostly just survive. Basically, in the first Halo, it was all about defending the orbital area in which the Navy has to basically defend it from the intruders, as well as making sure the orbital defense grid protects Earth from the Covenant invasion. The goal is simple: to prevent the Covenant from glassing Earth or having any heavy damages to the atmosphere of Earth. And that is Halo 2 in a nutshell for the Master Chief journey. Now then, let's cut to some real boys, the ODSTs, dropping in. As soon as the Covenant's first capital ship touched down in Africa, which is New Mombasa, a city in Africa, which I've stated already actually, but it's just, Halo ODST is definitely one of my favorites. And of course the Navy went down. But as you can see, we now use space elevators to help travel, and also even the cities in New Mombasa also was incredibly clean. The water, we still have water. I know I keep saying that, but yeah. But as you can see, we're on a full-on alien invasion on Earth. The main Covenant force was actually directed to New Mombasa. They were focused on digging up an area in New Mombasa, which in the beginning was where humanity was planted. And so basically, you and the ODST groups gotta get out of there, because basically New Mombasa is lost. The Covenant forces are already starting to excavate and mine the area, as well as they're bringing in heavier artillery, such as the Scarab, that massive bipedal robot you see walking up. And of course, with you and the rest of the buds, you managed to secure a drop ship from the aliens, and you need to get out of there immediately because you're about to get glassed. And of course, basically, you guys get out and live to fight another day.
It was a hell of a night.
Despite us losing a continent to the Covenant, we managed to gather a lot of data and information from the ODST operation and figuring out what exactly the Covenant are doing actually on Earth and why they are here in the first place. And, well, as you can still see, despite New Mombasa being destroyed, it's still pretty safe actually. We lost the space elevator, but still pretty survivable. But as you can see, the big thing is what's up there. A massive area that's being dug up, which is where humanity was planted back in the great olden days. And then of course we got to Halo 3, in which basically we're coming back, we're taking back that dig site area, stopping the Covenant from doing the great journey. And that's pretty much how it went. It was all about just stopping the Covenant and us giving it the full might of humanity. And as you can see, basically it kind of backfired on us. Instead of us trying to destroy the item, it reactivated. And because of that, it opened the great portal that the Covenant needed to travel to where the Great Journey can be activated, which is a separate thing. You need to play Halo 3 to understand what that's all about. The artifact that it was placed on for humanity. Now you see that ship that's going up into the portal? That was the ship that was used to colonize humanity back in the olden days. And of course, basically, the whole Covenant fleet starts to leave, and they go up into it to finish the Great Journey. Meanwhile, humanity had to deal with the great evil from the great beyond. The Flood, a biological parasite that eradicates and consumes all organic biomass in the galaxy. Basically, they are an extinction level event species. But because of Earth dealing with an infestation like this, our allies in the Covenant, a separate sub-faction that has succeeded from the Covenant, has joined us to help us fight the parasite. Unfortunately, we couldn't do it in a ground battle, so instead the Covenant had to glass half a continent of Africa to prevent the infestation of the flood from spreading. And that's pretty much what happened in Halo 3. Halo 4 basically erased off the continent by a massive laser beam. Then in Halo 5, a massive EMP strikes Earth, knocking it out only temporary. Because in the Halo lore, this was a simple turning on, but there was definitely some chaos on Earth. But yet she still remained strong. In the most recent Halo, Halo Infinite, they showed this awesome depiction back in Halo 3. And as you can see, Big Ben is still around. The only thing that has changed is really just cities and structures have gotten bigger. But yet the Earth still remains green and luscious. And that is Halo's Alternate Earth. Enjoyed this video of Alternate Earths? Tune in next time when we cover another awesome Alternate Earth. But anywho, hope you guys have enjoyed. This is NashX signing off.